35 candles flickered across Emily's face, their golden light dancing in the shadows, painting her features with a soft, trembling glow. Each flame seemed to mark a year of her life, a memory, a hope, or perhaps a regret. The candles wavered as if uncertain, mirroring the uncertainty that lingered in the air that night. All around us the room pulsed with laughter and the clinking of glasses. Friends and family gathered close, their voices weaving together in a tapestry of celebration. The scent of cake and champagne mingled with the warmth of shared stories, and for a moment, it felt like nothing could break the spell of happiness that held us all together. I stood beside her, my arm wrapped gently around her waist, feeling the familiar comfort of her presence. 10 years, an entire decade, had passed since we first met, and in that moment I felt the weight of every shared joy and every silent sorrow. I thought of the promises we'd made, the dreams we'd built, and the quiet understanding that had grown between us over the years. But as I looked at Emily, I noticed something different. Her smile, usually so bright and genuine, seemed fragile, as if it might shatter at the slightest touch. Her eyes, once full of laughter, now drifted somewhere far away, lost in thoughts I couldn't reach. I wondered what she was thinking, what secret weighed so heavily on her heart. Suddenly the room fell silent. All eyes turned to Emily as she closed her eyes, hands folded in front of her, ready to make her birthday wish. The hush was almost reverent, as if everyone sensed that this moment was more important than any before. I waited, expecting her to wish for something simple, a weekend getaway, a cozy cottage by the lake, maybe even a promise for the future. I imagined her wishing for happiness, for love, for the kind of life we'd always talked about late at night when the world was quiet. But when she opened her eyes, she looked straight at me. In that gaze, I saw a storm of emotions, pain, longing, and something like resolve. It was as if she was searching for the right words, knowing that what she was about to say would change everything. Then, in a voice that trembled but did not break, she spoke. "I wish," she said, her words slicing through the silence, "that David would leave." The words hung in the air, sharp and undeniable, echoing off the walls and into the stunned faces around us. The silence that followed was absolute. It crashed over the room like a wave, washing away every trace of celebration. Faces that had been smiling just moments before now froze in shock, eyes wide, mouths open in disbelief. My arm fell from her waist, my body numb with shock. I stared at her, unable to process what I'd just heard. Her words echoed in my mind, each repetition more painful than the last. I felt the ground shift beneath me, as if the foundation of my life had suddenly crumbled. Emily leaned forward and blew out the candles, the flames vanishing in a single breath. The room was plunged into an awkward twilight, the darkness pressing in around us, heavy with things left unsaid. No one moved. The air was thick with shock, every person frozen in place, unsure of what to do or say. The celebration had ended, replaced by a silence that felt endless. Emily stood at the center of it all, her hands clasped tightly, her face unreadable. I searched her eyes for an explanation, a sign that this was all some terrible mistake, but found only a quiet determination. Her wish was more than just words. It was a verdict, a final decision that shattered the life we built together. And as the room slowly came back to life around me, I realized I was truly alone, left to pick up the pieces in the ruins of what once was. The days after the party were silent and cold. Emily moved like a ghost, her laughter gone, her words clipped and distant. She avoided my touch, her routines shifting, late walks, early departures. Our home felt empty, the flowers wilting, photos mocking me with memories. I lay awake, haunted by her birthday wish, searching for answers. Had I missed something? Was it my fault? The house mourned with me. Emily was present but unreachable. The emptiness she left was more painful than absence. My confusion turned to suspicion. Emily guarded her phone, ended calls in whispers, offered flimsy excuses. I noticed secretive calls to an unknown number, short and frequent. One night I saw her outside, tense, speaking urgently in the rain. The idea of another man poisoned my thoughts. I checked phone records, evidence of betrayal, or so I thought. I waited to confront her, but when she came home she looked exhausted, broken. My anger faltered. Was this the face of someone in love with another, or someone carrying a heavier burden? Doubt crept in. The truth felt more complicated than simple infidelity. I was missing something crucial. My suspicion shifted to fear. Emily's secrecy wasn't excitement, it was terror. I noticed a black sedan parked on our street, always watching. When I approached, it sped away. This wasn't about an affair. I recalled her lies about work, her distress. Reviewing security footage, I saw a stranger leave a white envelope in our mailbox. He didn't ring, just stared at our door, then left. My blood ran cold. This was a message, not a delivery. The pieces didn't fit the story of a cheating wife. Something dangerous was closing in. Emily was at the center, but I was the reason. The past I'd buried was clawing back. I feared what the envelope would reveal. I retrieved the envelope, my hands trembling so violently that the paper nearly slipped from my grasp. The air in the room felt thick, heavy with a dread I hadn't felt in years. My heart pounded in my chest as I stared at my name scrawled across the front, the handwriting unfamiliar yet somehow menacing. Every instinct screamed at me to drop it, to run, but I forced myself to break the seal, my breath shallow and uneven. Inside there was only a single photograph. It was me, caught off guard, walking down a city street just days ago. I hadn't noticed anyone watching, hadn't sensed a camera's gaze. Yet here I was, frozen in time, proof that someone had been close enough to capture me without my knowledge. The image sent a chill down my spine, a silent message that I was being watched, that my every move was under scrutiny. Beneath the photo, a note. The message was chilling in its simplicity. We see you. We can reach you. No signature, no demands, just a stark reminder that I was not as invisible as I'd hoped. The words echoed in my mind, each syllable a threat, a promise that my past was not finished with me. Instantly, memories I'd tried so hard to bury came rushing back. Nights spent running through empty streets, changing my clothes in the shadows, always glancing over my shoulder. The constant fear, the paranoia, the desperate need to disappear. I remembered the day I chose a new name, the day I tried to erase who I'd been. But the past, it seemed, had a way of finding me, no matter how far I ran. I'd convinced myself I was safe, that I'd finally escaped the life I once led. But now, with this photograph in my hand, I realized how naive I'd been. The shadows I'd left behind had caught up, and the sense of security I'd built was nothing but an illusion. Suddenly, all the strange occurrences of the past weeks made sense. The black sedan parked outside my building, the anonymous phone calls that ended in silence, the feeling of being watched wherever I went, the fear that had been simmering beneath the surface now boiled over, impossible to ignore. And then there was Emily, her anxious glances, her restless nights, the way she seemed to be carrying a secret too heavy for her shoulders. I'd thought her distance was about us, about something I'd done. But now, I saw the truth. It was about me, about the danger I'd brought into our lives. Emily wasn't pulling away, she was standing guard. Every lie she told, every moment she seemed distracted, was a shield she was raising to protect me. She was trying to keep the darkness at bay, to shield me from the consequences of my own past. The ghosts I'd tried to outrun were not just memories. They were real, tangible threats lurking just beyond the edge of our lives. I could feel them closing in, their presence a constant weight pressing down on us. Emily's fear, her secrecy, her late-night whispers on the phone, they weren't betrayals. They were acts of love, desperate attempts to keep me safe even as the danger grew closer. She was sacrificing her own peace, her own happiness, for my safety. The realization hit me with crushing force. I was the reason for her fear, the source of the threat that haunted our home. The truth was devastating. I was the danger. Everything I'd tried to leave behind had followed me, and now it was Emily who was paying the price. In that moment, I understood. She was trying to save me, even if it meant losing herself. Her love was fierce, selfless, and it broke my heart to see the cost she was willing to pay. Everything changed in that instant. The world I thought I knew was gone, replaced by a new reality shaped by fear, sacrifice, and the haunting certainty that the past is never truly behind us. I found Emily in the garden, the air thick with the promise of rain. The sky was a canvas of swirling gray, and the first drops began to fall, dotting the earth with their gentle touch. It was as if the heavens themselves were preparing to weep with us, sharing in the sorrow that was about to unfold. I handed her the photograph. She flinched, her eyes widening as if the image held 1,000 unspoken words. Her tears mingled with the rain, creating a symphony of sadness that resonated in the air. Each drop seemed to echo the pain she felt, a silent witness to her turmoil. "They found you," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the patter of rain. It was a confession wrapped in fear, her words trembling as they left her lips. The weight of her revelation hung between us, heavy and oppressive, like the storm clouds above. She confessed, her voice a fragile thread in the storm, that they'd contacted her, threatened her, demanded she push me away. Her eyes, filled with a mixture of guilt and desperation, searched mine for understanding. She had been caught in a web of deceit, spun by those who sought to harm us. The phone calls, the ones I had assumed were to a lover, were in fact to them. Each ring was a reminder of the danger lurking in the shadows, a sinister presence that had infiltrated our lives. Her anxiety was palpable, a testament to the fear she had lived with for so long. Her coldness, her wish, her distance, it was all a facade, a shield to protect me from the storm that threatened to consume us. She had built walls around her heart, not out of indifference, but out of love. Her distance was a sacrifice, a painful choice made in the hope of keeping me safe. She believed if I left, I'd be safe. Her mind was a battlefield, torn between the desire to hold on and the need to let go. She watched me with eyes full of longing, her heart aching with the knowledge that her actions, though well-intentioned, had caused us both so much pain. She was willing to break both our hearts to save my life. Her tears were a testament to her inner struggle, each one a silent plea for forgiveness. She had made a choice, one that had cost her dearly, and yet she stood firm, unwavering in her resolve. I pulled her close, love and admiration overwhelming me. In that moment, the rain was no longer a barrier but a bridge, connecting us in our shared sorrow. Her warmth seeped into me, a balm for the wounds we had both endured. Together, we stood against the storm, united in our love. She'd faced my demons alone, armed only with love. Her courage was a beacon in the darkness, guiding me back to her. She had fought for us, for our future, and I was determined to stand by her side, no matter the cost. "You should have told me," I whispered, my voice a gentle reprimand. But beneath the words lay a promise, a vow to face whatever came our way together. Her eyes met mine, and in them I saw the reflection of our shared strength, a bond forged in the crucible of adversity. We're in this together now, our hands intertwined, a symbol of our unity, our commitment to face the future as one. The rain continued to fall, but it no longer felt like a burden. Instead, it was a cleansing, a renewal, washing away the past and leaving us with a fresh start. The storm broke, but we held on to each other. The world around us faded away, leaving only the two of us, standing strong against the tempest. In each other's arms we found solace, a refuge from the chaos that had threatened to tear us apart. Together we would weather any storm. We pieced together the truth in our kitchen, the storm raging outside. I told Emily everything, my criminal past, my flight, my hope to start over. She explained how they'd manipulated her, using her love as a weapon. Every cold word, every act of distance had been a shield for me. She'd endured loneliness and fear to protect me from my past. We realized running was no longer an option. The black sedan, the surveillance, it was all control. But they'd underestimated our love. Their attempt to break us had only made us stronger. We were united, ready to face whatever came next. Our bond was forged in adversity. Before sunrise, we decided no more running. Our first call was to the authorities, not a moving company. We walked in together, hand in hand, ready to tell the truth. I confessed everything. My past, the threats, the evidence. The agents listened, assuring us my testimony was valuable. Our home was placed under protection. The black sedan vanished. The calls stopped. We could finally breathe. Entering witness protection meant leaving everything behind. But this time, we chose our new beginning together. Packing, saying goodbye, we found each other again. Our love was no longer naive but resilient. We had survived the test. We were ready for whatever came next. Our new life began in a quiet town, far from our past. Emily's smile was real again as she planted new flowers. We healed together, our scars reminders of what we'd survived. I remembered her birthday wish, the pain, the sacrifice. Her love was fierce, protective, willing to be the villain to save me. Love isn't always gentle, sometimes it's a shield. Emily's actions spoke louder than words ever could. We lost a life but found a deeper love. The greatest promise is to protect each other no matter the cost. For that, I am forever grateful.
What's something people don't know about stories? They never truly end. There's always a new adventure waiting for you. Just pick your next tale and I'll meet you there. Subscribe to the Story Circle and let me know which story I should tell next in the comments.